Good afternoon to you. I'm Fred Blankenship.
I'm Carol Sparge. This is the look from News Chopper 2 in the last hour. You can see dozens of demonstrators gathering outside the Fox Theater in Midtown Atlanta to protest a rally by Donald Trump.
And Channel 2's Richard Elliott begins our live Team 2 coverage with how that protest is developing right now. Richard.
Yeah, we are live outside the Fox Theater in Midtown Atlanta, where Donald Trump's scheduled to be speaking very shortly. You can see the demonstrators started out with a few dozen, but it has really grown to well over 100 right now. We have seen some back and forth between Trump supporters and protesters, but for the most part, things have remained civil. We spoke with some of those protesting Trump's speech. Here's what they said.
I can't vote yet, but I feel like just the word needs to be spread that this man cannot be our president and that he's just a horrible man.
I think we need to keep moving the country forward. There's the message of hate, to hate people simply because who they are and what they believe. That is not what this country is. We're better than this. We're much better than this.
And again, we have seen some back and forth between protesters and supporters, but for the most part, it's remained very civil out here. There's a lot of police out here, a lot of Atlanta police officers, heavy police presence out here. Originally, they had planned to shut down Peachtree Street, but now, if the crowds got too big, but now I'm being told by a source that they actually plan to leave Peachtree Street open right now to kind of act as a natural barrier between the protesters and Donald Trump supporters. That's what's going on live here outside the Fox Theater. We're live in Midtown Atlanta. Richard Elliott, Channel 2 Action News.
Richard, thank you. As protesters make their voices heard loud and clear outside the Trump event, his supporters are having their say inside. Channel 2's Lori Geary continues our live Team 2 coverage. And Lori, you've been speaking to Trump loyalists this morning.
And I can tell you this crowd is getting fired up. If you take a look behind me, you can see that radio talk show host and former presidential candidate Herman Cain is there on the stage. Just a few moments ago, he said in his terms, Donald Trump is not a racist, and that got a huge response from this crowd inside. Now, this is the first time Donald Trump has visited Georgia as the presumptive Republican nominee, and one day after President Obama ripped into him for his stance on a temporary ban on Muslims entering the U.S. And no doubt Donald Trump will be addressing that issue when he takes to the stage behind me in just a few minutes. Now, I had the chance to speak to some of his supporters just a few moments ago why they are sticking with Donald Trump.
He says a lot of things that people think, and so I think a lot of people support him based on that.
So you would pick him over Hillary Clinton?
Absolutely. Yeah, I don't really trust Hillary Clinton.
And there's various reasons I support him: gun rights, enforcement of our borders, and I think a lot of people stand with him, including women and including those who are a little bit more moderate.
Now, again, Donald Trump expected to take to that podium there behind me really at any moment. Before this event, he was at a private fundraiser. One of the co-hosts of that fundraiser was Governor Nathan Deal. We're not hearing any official estimates from the Donald Trump campaign, but we're hearing it raised about $800,000. We'll be here to listen in on the speech, talk to supporters, getting reaction. We'll have full coverage for you coming up at our later newscasts. For now, reporting live from the Fox Theater in Midtown Atlanta, Lori Geary, Channel 2 Action News.
Right now, the Democratic Party of Georgia is reacting to Donald Trump's visit to Metro Atlanta. Here's a live look at the Fox Theater in Midtown Atlanta. Democratic leaders are talking about why they believe the billionaire is unfit to serve as the leader of our country, and we're putting together their comments for a live report in our next half hour.